Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome and give a round of applause to the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Panahon na ng pagbabago, dahil sa ito ay kinakailangan tayo na magtulong-tulong na paunlarin ang mahal nating bayan. Panahon na ng pagbabago at ayos ang mga dapat ayusin. Dapat na maging tungkulin ng bawat mamamayan dito sa atin.
Something wonderful is happening right at the center of the Philippines. There is an island of about 5.5 million people. But what is extraordinary about it is that in this island, there pervades and prevails a lasting unity amongst its political leaders. And we have here Mayor Ahong Chan and Congresswoman Cindy Chan. And amongst the people of that island. This island, you're right here on it. It is called Cebu. Too often we dream of unity. We speak of unity, and yet somehow we fail to achieve it. But not so in this beautiful, charming island of Cebu. There's an extraordinary unity that has been the impetus for this island, province, to soar to great heights of progress and development. This unity was tested in the last 2022 elections. Tested and proven when all political leaders decided to stand behind the candidate who called for unity as well. The person who saw that the only way that we could move this country forward was for us to cross boundaries, to set aside festering and sometimes getting to be irrelevant indifferences and strive for what should be the greater good for the greater number. That man, that candidate, that the Cebuanos wholeheartedly support is with us here this morning. Now, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Because the President and the Cebuanos believed in the ideal of unity in the last 2022 elections. That island of Cebu delivered the highest ever number of votes compared to any other place in the country at 1.5 million votes, leaving behind the closest opponent by over 1 million votes. And that was because our political leaders, and we have here as well our acting mayor of the city of Cebu, Raymond Garcia. Our political leaders and the people of Cebu cast our lot with a man who called for unity. Well, Mr. President, our delegates who just had a crash course on Philippine politics, may I now say that the unity that we proved in that historic year and historic election of 2022 is now stronger than ever right here in this island of Cebu. And as we did in 2022, Mr. President, we stand firmly behind you in full support of the man who calls for unity. And so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this beautiful, charming island of Cebu. Here we are, one island, one province, one Cebu. One Cebu, one Philippines. Daghang salamat. Thank you.
The UN Tourism Secretary General, Zurab Pololakishvili, together with me is accompanied the Special Assistant to the President, the Secretary Anton Lagdameo, the Deputy Speaker and representative of the 5th District of Cebu, Congressman and Deputy Speaker Duke Frasco, the other honorable members of the House of Representatives who have joined us today, of course, our good friend and exemplary leader as Governor, Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia, Lapu-Lapu City Mayor Junard Ahong Chan, the ministers and delegates of the 36th Joint Meeting of the UN Tourism Commission for East Asia and the Pacific and the UN Tourism Commission for South Asia, our stakeholders, both in the public sector and in the private sector, who have worked together to bring tourism in the Philippines to the rest of the world, my fellow workers in government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am extremely happy to be here today, surrounded by the decision makers, visionary leaders, and trailblazers who share the same passion and advocacy for a sustainable and innovative tourism program in our region. My deepest appreciation, of course, goes to our Secretary and the Department of Tourism, because under the stewardship of Secretary Cristina Frasco, they have done all the preparations leading up to this event. I also extend my gratitude to the UN Tourism Commission for East Asia and the Pacific and the UN Tourism Commission for South Asia for having entrusted us with the responsibility of hosting this very significant gathering. Apart from having the chance to shape the course of the future of tourism in our region, I consider this event as a tremendous chance for exposure for the Philippines and a very welcome boost to our efforts to show that we are one of the world's leading tourist destinations. I am very, very optimistic that your meetings will be a platform for collaboration, for discourse, and the sharing of best practices on such crucial topics for the sector as we prepare for the activities leading up to the World Tourism Day of 2024. I'm especially delighted to know that two important matters to be discussed here involve education and product development through green transformation in tourism. Indeed, education is always going to make any industry better, and certainly tourism is no different. We need to raise the standards and practices in this crucial sector by investing in education, training, and skills upgrading of all the personnel who are working in this industry. We will require experts and professionals from different fields to come and help to make tourism a meaningful and educational and impactful experience, not only for our tourists, but also for our stakeholders. For what good will any tourism effort be if it ends up destroying the local culture and ecology? So this brings us to another important topic that we also need to address when it comes to developing our respective tourism industries, which is sustainability. We need to adopt sustainability in our society and economy, and certainly in the sector of tourism. We must go green in the transformation of our tourism products and services as a solution to address climate change, resource preservation, and long-term industry sustainability. As a matter of fact, I would take that even a step further. And if we are to talk about tourism, I am of the belief that the greener you are, the better the tourism experience will be. So we are also working with the private sector to pursue reforms that will make tourists visit, stay, spend, and return to the Philippines. These include measures such as easing visa access, enhancing water sanitation and healthcare facilities in tourist destinations, improving connectivity hubs such as airports. By adopting these practices, we create a tourism industry that not only creates responsible visitors, but also uplifts the lives of those who are part of that activity. Tourism plays a vital role in our economies and in our societies. In 2023, the share of tourism direct gross value added to the Philippine economy that amounted to 8.6% of our GDP, or 2.09 trillion pesos, which roughly amounts to $35 billion US. This is an impressive increase of 48% compared to our previous year's numbers. Once again, congratulations to the Department of Tourism and to the work that has been led by Secretary Cristina Frasco. It marks the highest record of growth in gross value added in tourism since the year 2000. In 2023, we welcomed 5.45 million international tourists into the country, exceeding our target of 4.8 million for the year. And additionally, just from January to March of this year, international tourist arrivals in the Philippines have reached 2.9 million for that period. These highlight the robust recovery and continued appeal of our country as a top travel destination. But going beyond monetary values and numbers, these figures also mean millions of lives being changed for the better. And that's why I hope that our efforts here will lead to even better practices, more tourism arrivals, not just for our country, but for the entire world. Ladies and gentlemen, I am truly excited to see the outcome of these meetings as we pursue our own understanding of the stories and traditions in every culture and dish that we encounter. Let us continue to use our cultural capital to connect and sample experiences and flavors that are profound and transformative. Once again, I extend my gratitude to the UN Tourism for your leadership in advancing tourism, not only here in the Philippines, not only here in our region, but in the entire world. I call on all the delegates, stakeholders, and partners to contribute eagerly to the success of this gathering. Let us celebrate our own cultural diversity and wonders as we build a brighter, better, and greener future for tourism here in Asia, the Pacific, and the world. Thank you all very much, and I wish you great success at this conference. Maraming salamat po at magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your very inspiring words. Now, as a token of appreciation, may we request the President to receive from Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia a puso lamp, symbolizing the heart of the Cebuanos. May we also request our stage party to witness the turnover.
United Nations tourism for East Asia and the Pacific. Bridging nations together we soar for a better world forevermore. Coming together from every land, hand in hand together we stand. Great nations.
Thank you, Governor Garcia. At this point, UN Tourism Secretary General Zura Pololikashvili will present to the President a plaque of appreciation. This plaque